lesson 3.2, solving equations having like terms and parentheses. So this lesson starts off with school spirit. Your school's basketball team is playing in the championship game. For the game, the cheerleaders want to buy a banner that costs $47. They also want to buy small items to give to students in the stands. Pom-poms cost $5.2 each. Noisemakers cost $0.8 each. The cheerleaders have a total budget of $375 for the game. If they buy equal numbers of pom-poms and noisemakers, how many can they afford to buy? So you have to find how many pom-poms and noisemakers the cheerleaders can afford to buy as described above. So we have to let N represent, let's write this in red. N represents the number of pom-poms and the number of noisemakers. Number of pom-poms and noisemakers. That's N. Then 5.2N represents the cost of N pom-poms, and 0.8N represents the cost of N noisemakers. So let's write this. Since you have to have equal amounts of pom-poms and an equal amount of noisemakers, you put one variable for the number of pom-poms and the number of noisemakers, since this number is going to be the same. So we have to write an equation. The cost of pom-poms of N pom-poms plus cost of N noisemakers plus cost of banner, which is a constant. It's only one banner, no matter how many students come, no matter the N. And then this has to equal the total budget. So the cost of N pom-poms. Pom-pom is pom-pom. One pom-pom costs $5.2. 5.2. And a noisemaker costs $0.8. $0.8. So the cost of N pom-poms. A pom-pom was 5.2, so we put 5.2 times N, because let's say you have 2 pom-poms, it's going to be 10.4. 3, it's going to be 15.6. It's going to keep increasing depending on the amount of pom-poms, which is, we have N as the variable for it. 5.2N plus 0.8N, which is the number of noisemakers, since each noisemaker costs $0.8. Plus the cost of banner, and the banner, they had told us, costed $47. And the total budget is $375. So now that we have the equation, this is where we have to, first, here we see that we have 2 terms that have the variable, and we have to have 1 term with the variable. So we see that these are like terms. 5.2N and 0.8N are like terms that we learned in the other lesson. So we could combine them using the reverse distributive property, which I explained before. So 5.2, but the easy way to do it is just to add the coefficient. 5.2 plus 0.8 is 6. So 6N, you combine these. This equals 6N. Plus 47 equals 375. So now you have to isolate this term. So and it's being added by 47, so you have to subtract 47 from both sides. Minus 47. You get 6N equals 328. So now you have to divide both sides by 6. Divided by 6. This is going to be N equals 54, 2 over 3. This is what N equals. So you could buy 54 and 2/3 amount of pom-poms and noisemakers. But since you can't buy 2/3 of a pom-pom and the 2/3 of a noisemaker, so you have to round down so the budget isn't exceeded, because if we buy 55, then we're gonna go above $375. But if we go down, we're gonna be around 374, something like that, a little bit below the budget, which is better than being above it. So we have to round it to being 54 pom-poms and 54 noisemakers. Hopefully that made sense. Brings us to example 2. So example 2 is just telling us to solve the equation. And this is how we combine the like terms in an equation, which is equations having like terms, but then they also have parentheses, which we have to use a distributive property to make into more than one term. I'll show you guys what I mean. Example 2. A is negative 21 equals 7 times 3 minus x. So negative 21 equals, we have to do 7 times 3, and then 7 times negative x. So 7 times 3 is 21, and then 7 times negative x is minus 7x. So once we have this, we have to isolate this term. So we have to subtract 21 from both sides. It's going to be negative 42, and this is going to be negative 7x. Now we have to divide by negative 7, Here you're going to get x equals 6. Since a negative divided by negative is always going to be a positive, like 42 divided by 7 or negative 42 divided by negative 7 is going to be 6. That's A. And B is negative 3 times 8 minus 4x equals 12. So here, let me turn on this light so you can see better. So here we have to multiply negative 3 times 8 and then negative 3 times negative 4x. So negative 3 times negative 8, that's negative 24. And then negative 3 times negative 4x is going to be positive 12x is equal to 12. So to get rid of this, it's minus 24. We have to add 24. Plus 24, we're going to get 12x equals 36. And then you have to divide by 12. Divide by 12. It's going to be x equals 3. That's example 2. Example 3. So example 3 is combining like terms after distributing like the parentheses. It's combining these two. So they give us solve 5x minus 2 times x minus 1 equals 8. So first we have to do 5x minus, and then we're going to see negative 2 times x is going to be minus 2x. So minus 2x, negative 2 times negative 1 is going to be positive 2 equals 8. So now 5x minus 2x, you have a 5 and then you have a negative 2. You combine like terms, you get 3x plus 2 equals 8. You have to subtract 2 from both sides. You're going to get 3x equals 6. You have to divide by 3, both sides. And x is going to be equal to 2.